Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Happy Easter. We are interrupting our regularly scheduled broadcast material and going to do a special Easter message today. I'm going to call this the first eyes of Easter. So here's the concept. Is everybody gets their own resurrection moment, and specifically you get a moment when you appreciate, see the resurrection, and then we can kind of decide what we can do with it. So we're going to look today at the resurrection of Jesus. It's Easter morning, and we're going to use the first eyes to see Easter morning, and that's with Mary Magdala. So Magdalene, she's from Magdala. This is in John chapter 20. Just listen to the story with me, and we are going to appreciate this fantastic woman, Mary Magdalene. Here it goes. John chapter 20, verse 1. Now on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb early while it was still dark. I love this. She's a morning person, and that's why she gets to be first eyes. And saw that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. Remember, the stone is removed not so Jesus can get out, but so that we can see in and see the resurrection. So she ran to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we," probably she's with some other women at the time, "we do not know where they have laid him." So it doesn't sound that at this moment Mary has faith yet. She has observation, she has some realization, she has some facts, but she certainly doesn't demonstrate belief. So then the story is interrupted by Peter and John running to the tomb. John is an easy belief. He saw and believed early in John chapter 20, verse 8. And then the disciples went back to their homes. And then the story comes back to Mary in John chapter 20, verse 7. But Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. I think this is another indication that she doesn't believe yet. As she wept, she stooped to look into the tomb, and she saw two angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus has lain, one at the head, one at the foot, very detailed here. And they said to her, so these angels talk, "Woman, why are you weeping?" And she says to them, they have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him. So again, probably not believing at this point. But detail and the discussion and conversation and a little angel argument. And having said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing. Now, she doesn't know it's Jesus. It's identified here in the story. But she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" Same question as the angels. "Whom are you seeking?" What a great question. Jesus is full of such great questions. Whom are you seeking? And then this is my favorite part of the story. I'm sorry. Supposing him to be the gardener. I just love that. You just got to love the Bible. Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." And again, still not believing, but you just got to love Mary. And the fact that Jesus is here and speaking to her is just fantastic. Okay, verse 16, Jesus said to her, "Mary." And she turned and said to him, in Aramaic, probably her heart language, "Rabboni," which means teacher. And Jesus said to her, "Do not cling to me." And I think the reason is because she was clinging to him. I think she gets a hug here. I don't know. "For I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them," my brothers, Jesus calls the knucklehead disciples his brothers. "I have not ascended to the Father, but go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, my God and your God." Ascension. She gets this revelation. Ascension, what's that? No one's ever heard of this before. She gets so much. She gets the tomb. She gets ascension. Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, I have seen the Lord. And that he said these things to her. So here's Mary Magdalene. She gets the Lord. She gets a couple of angels. She gets speaking angels. She gets filling of her knowledge. She gets misunderstanding with the angels. She gets misunderstandings with this guy she supposes to be the gardener, but it's actually Jesus. And then she gets these great questions from Jesus. Why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking? It's a great question for us on Easter morning here too. And then, what an intimate part of the story. Jesus says to her, her name, personal. I think she gets a hug. I'm reading into the story a little bit there. In my version of the story, she gets a hug. She gets this confession of Rabboni and belief. And then she gets this revelation that there's going to be an ascension. No one ever knew this before in this way. And she gets a job. Go tell this to my brother disciples. So what a great story. She gets the message first. The whole universe has been waiting for the resurrection. And I wanted to see the resurrection through her eyes this morning with you, with my brother and sister friends here. Everybody gets a resurrection moment. Mary Magdalene gets hers. The disciples saw and believed, and what a great message for that is for us. Let's leap for joy. Let us say today that I have seen the Lord. Today we have to use Mary Magdalene's eyes to see the Lord. But let's do that today and rejoice with her and hug Jesus and weep again with Jesus. And like the disciples, let us see and believe. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.